Well, let's bring in Representative Elise Stefanik, House Intelligence Committee and House Armed Services Committee. Elise, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
So the president makes this bold call, right? While the media then kicks into overdrive. Here's a couple of things that caught our eye. First, a tweet from the Washington Post. This is how they framed it initially. Breaking news, airstrike at Baghdad airport kills Iran's most revered military leader. Qasem Soleimani, Iraqi state television reports. Well, not to be outdone, here's how the rest of the media framed this attack. Watch.
Soleimani, an iconic military leader, a revered figure.
Soleimani it's difficult to convey how revered he is. He's regarded as personally incredibly brave. The troops love him.
I was trying to think of somebody, and I was thinking of de Gaulle.
A brilliant man. He was the Cardinal Richelieu. He was the Machiavelli.
Even many of Soleimani's enemies admitted he was a military genius.
Let's assume for a minute that he was at the Baghdad airport and deserved this, okay? Let's just stipulate that. And let's just say maybe it was the right decision to take him out. But you have, in that case, right decision, wrong commander-in-chief.
All right, Elise, so it's one thing to respect your enemy. It's a whole other thing to revere them, as we see.
This is an absolute embarrassment. It is clear Soleimani is one of the bloodiest terrorists. He has exported global terrorism, and he has blood of American troops on his hands. He has killed hundreds of American troops. I represent Fort Drum's 10th Mountain Division, the most deployed unit in the U.S. Army since 9/11. And those troops have risked their lives and were targeted by Soleimani and his Quds forces. This is a terrorist who is exported through proxies, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, and has sowed discord in the Middle East, in Syria, Yemen, and Iraq. He should not be revered, and the Washington Post should apologize and should retract that statement.
Congresswoman, we heard at the closure of that montage that one commentator saying, you know, right action, wrong commander-in-chief. And how is that even reconciled, however, with you that sit on the House Intelligence Committee, with those on the left and those in the media decrying the intelligence and saying that the information needs to be called into question and that there could not have been and there were no reports of this escalation and imminent threats on behalf of the Iranian and the general?
We should be praising U.S. troops and our intelligence community. This was a success. This was the right decision made by the right commander-in-chief. We have seen Iran's belligerence in the region, not only targeting Americans, but shedding American blood in the past month. We have seen the terrorist attacks on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, and this was a proportional, effective response. This is about deterring Iranian aggression in the Middle East, but most importantly, it's about protecting U.S. troops, which our commander-in-chief always should do.
All right, Congressman, interesting because this is obviously happening in the context of the 2020 election coming up. You have all these Democrats running for president and falling all over themselves to criticize the president. You know, Elizabeth Warren putting out two different statements, you know, and all of that. And it's interesting because the New York Times had a story about Republican women who may be critical in this election in terms of whether they stick with the president. Here's their version. Republican women, they claim, are in crisis. In the past 10 years, they have become endangered species on the political stage. You're a Republican woman. Last I checked at the House Intelligence Committee, your voice was being heard. How do you react to that?
Yeah, my voice was heard loud and clearly, not only in my district, but across the country. But that editorial in the New York Times ignores the facts. We have a historic number of Republican women who are running for office, over 181. I've worked to help recruit those women and to support those women. We have effective conservative Republican women running in New York, California, Kansas, Texas, and most importantly, in the seats that will determine the House majority. As you can see, Democratic numbers are tanking because of their obsession with impeachment. And it's very sad to watch Democratic candidates for president running for the commander-in-chief job, refusing to call Soleimani a terrorist. The fact that Elizabeth Warren had to retract that statement shows where the Democratic Party is going, which is further and further to the left and out of touch with the American people and voters who will determine the next president. And I believe that next president will be President Trump.
But, Representative, I mean, because you're a Republican, to the elite media, don't you count a little bit less as a women's advocate? That's how they see it, right?
The elite media and the establishment media loves to attack Republican women. I've experienced that firsthand, but the good news is Republican women are fighting back. They are raising their hand to run for office, and as I said, we have a historic number of Republican women who are already on the ballot. 181 are running for Congress across the country. That's more than ever before, and I think we are going to run on issues like strong national security, a booming economy, stronger border security, and standing up for constitutional liberties. Those are values that will attract Republican women voters and attract women voters across the country.
But you know better than us, Congresswoman, that when you stood up and had your voice heard in those House Intel Committee hearings, you became a target. What did that feel like?
I did become a target. I was smeared by the Hollywood left, people like Rosie O'Donnell and Chelsea Handler. But every day of the week, I choose the North Country of New York over Hollywood liberals, and I choose my district over people like George Conway, who are just vile anti-Trumpers. And my job is to focus on the constitutional issues and focus on representing my district, which is exactly what I did in the intelligence hearings. And I led the charge in fighting back against Schiff's partisan charades. And if you want to support me, donate to fightschiff.com to help us fight back against the Hollywood liberals who have smeared me.
Fightschiff.com.
Pete's going to check that out.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Representative, for joining us this morning. Elise Stefanik, thank you.